everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of our story called
The Hounds of Fate.
And the vocabulary words are content.
Content.
With a belly full of food, Roy was content to lie on the couch for a few hours.
Community.
Community.
After the recent robberies, people in the community no longer feel safe.
Confess.
Confess.
Randy confessed to stealing John's eraser.
Warn.
Warn.
My friend warned me not to go out at such a late hour.
Hopeful.
Hopeful.
The movie contains a hopeful message. So we're still talking about this interesting story about this guy named Martin.
Right.
But now he's Tom.
So now he's Tom, right. But he's really Martin.
That's right.
Pretending to be Tom.
And I think he's enjoying his life at the farmhouse,
yeah,
right?
So I think he's going to at least stay for a while because he's going to enjoy it while he can. He doesn't want to go back to his troubled life before.
I guess you're right. And then he noticed something weird, though, when he's walking around in the neighborhood or community. He noticed that people are kind of just staring at him, and they are not very friendly.
Right.
So I wonder what this Tom guy did.
It looks like Tom did something pretty bad, or he was just a bad guy in general. We're not really sure.
And then one day, the old guy, George, warned him about something.
Yeah, there's somebody called Michael Lay, and he wants to kill Tom. So he knows that Michael's going to be coming to try to kill him.
That's right.
Martin, who he thinks is Tom, right?
That's right.
And so George gives him some money and says, okay, why don't you go away for a few days? So he does.
That's right. He said, okay, that's a lot of money. I can pretty much have a fresh start and see what happens.
So maybe he doesn't need to go back. Maybe he can start his own farm somewhere or...
So it sounds like a really good story for Martin.
Yeah, but you never know. But you'll have to keep reading to find out.
Maybe there will be a twist in the
Ooh.
end. Enjoy the story.
Enjoy.
The Hounds of Fate.
As the days went by, Martin became more and more content on the farm. While riding Tom's horse into town, he thought it wouldn't be so bad to stay for a while. But there was a lot about Tom that Martin didn't know.
Today's lesson is called The Hounds of Fate, Part 2. Hello, everyone. I am Jeff.
And I am Mike, and we are not Martin Stoner or Master Tom. No, they are the same character, we think, in our story. Martin Stoner was this lost young man who felt that life was going really badly until he found a farmhouse where this family welcomed him in but called him Master Tom. Now, Martin was so hungry and tired, he didn't care what they called him. He was happy they were giving him food and a place to rest, but it turns out the family, at least the aunt in the family, was very angry with him, and she said, "You can come in my house, but I'm not going to talk to you or even look at you for what you did before." Martin has no idea what's going on. He's just happy to be somewhere safe now.
Martin is Martin.
Martin is Martin.
And the Hounds of Fate are on his heels.
He felt they were. Yeah.
And he's lucked into the situation. You've got Uncle George there. He's going to take him in there. The aunt there. She doesn't like Master Tom. But George thinks, yes, that Martin Stoner is Master Tom.
Right.
But he's not.
That's right.
He's Martin.
But
Stoner.
Martin's happy to pretend to be Tom because his life is better now.
He's happy to assume the role.
Right.
And as the days went by, Martin became more and more content on the farm.
So he stays
this is great.
there. Yeah.
This is great. I'll stay here as long as I need to. This is great. This
Sure.
is awesome.
I'm Tom. Whatever. I can stay here. I got food. These people are not kicking me out the door. They're happy to have me live with them. And if you're content with something, you're pretty happy with it. You're satisfied. It might not be the greatest thing that ever happened to you and you're overjoyed all the time, but you don't have anything serious to complain about. Everything is just, it's okay, it's fine, it's good enough. For example, with a belly full of food, Roy was content to lie on the couch for a few hours. It wasn't the best meal of his life. He wasn't sitting in a luxury spa at a 5-star hotel or anything, but he was perfectly happy. He had a good sandwich. There's a baseball game on TV. Life's not bad.
Yep, while riding Tom's horse into town. It's not his own, it's Tom's.
Yeah, but he's Tom, remember?
He thinks he is. He's assuming the role.
He's pretending to be.
While riding Tom's horse into town, he thought it wouldn't be so bad to stay for a while.
This is pretty good.
I'm going to stay on this farm. I'm content here. But there was a lot about Tom that Martin didn't know.
Ooh.
Remember, the aunt, she doesn't want to talk to him or see him. So what did Tom do?
He's pretending to be someone he doesn't know, and maybe that person he's pretending to be has a bad past.
Anyways, folks, let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue reading from The Hounds of Fate.Hello，
大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的故事读到 ，Martin 来到一间农宅，他被误认成 Tom 这号人物。那么 Martin 就顺势假装自己是 Tom， 在那边住下来。随着日子过去，他在农场里面变得越来越心满意足。好，那当他骑着 Tom 的马进城，他想说，在这边住一阵子也蛮不错的嘛。只是他对于 Tom 这个人一无所知，不晓得 Tom 过去做了什么事。这个 Tom 的姑姑也竟然不再跟他讲话，不愿再看他一眼哎。好，那我们这边先补充一个单字 content。content 它是形容词，是形容满足的、满意的。那么 Mike 老师刚刚用到 overjoyed， 则是用来形容极度高兴的或是欣喜若狂的。我们来拼一下 overjoyed overjoyed 极度高兴的。好，我们接着回到课文中。
The Hounds of Fate.
In town, the locals scowled and stared at Martin. He wondered what Tom could have done to anger the entire community, but he didn't want to confess his true identity and go back to a life of rambling around the countryside. One day, Martin discovered an album with photos of Tom and saw with his own eyes the uncanny resemblance between them. Later, George warned Martin that Michael Lay was back in the village and that he had sworn to kill Tom. He gave Martin some money from Tom's aunt and told him to get away for a few days.
So there he was, riding a horse. Yeah, not long ago things were looking bad for Martin Stoner. Now he's Master Tom, he's living on the farm, he's content, and he's riding a horse into town. But in town, the locals scowled and stared at Martin. This Tom guy, he did something bad.
That's right. Everyone still thinks he's Tom. Now, Martin thought, I'll just pretend to be Tom. Who cares? Well, it turns out people don't like Tom, so maybe he's pretending to be a pretty bad person. So Martin, of course, starts to wonder, why are people scowling at me and giving me dirty looks and stuff like that? He wondered what Tom could have done to anger the entire community, but he didn't want to confess his true identity and go back to a life of rambling around the countryside. Remember, before he found this family that took him in, he was rambling around the countryside. He was on his own, he was poor, he had nowhere to stay, no food. Life was pretty tough. He doesn't want to go back to that, but he doesn't want to tell the truth. Of course, then he'll get kicked out and have to go back to his difficult life. But what did he do, or what did this Tom guy do to make everyone so angry with him?
Yeah, and if they all think he's Tom, he can't ask them,
what did I do?
What did I do?
That's right.
You know what you did, Tom.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we've got the word community here. When we're talking about a community, we're talking about a group of people who live together, like a small village is a community in this particular situation. A community is a small group of people who live together, who share common bonds. That's pretty much the idea here. For example, after the recent robberies, people in the community no longer feel safe. Yes, everybody in the community, they're all paying attention. They're all being very, very careful at night because they don't want to be robbed.
Right. In this case, the community is this village and the farms that are all around it, all the people there. And of course, Martin doesn't want to tell the truth and say, hey, I'm not Tom. I don't know why you're angry with me. I'm just pretending to be Tom. That's, of course, a terrible thing to do. So he doesn't want to tell the truth and say, I'm just this other guy and I was pretending. I'm just taking food from this family because I'm kind of a not nice person. But I'm not Tom. No, because that would be to confess. To confess is to tell the truth, especially when you're telling the truth about something bad, about a crime or some terrible action.
To come clean.
If you're lying about it, that's one thing. But then if you say, I don't want to lie anymore, I want to tell the truth about something bad, you are confessing. For example, Randy confessed to stealing John's eraser.
Anyways, let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
One day, Martin discovered an album with photos.
A photo album?
A photo album.
Okay.
With photos of Tom, and saw with his own eyes the uncanny, amazing resemblance between them. It's like they're twins.
Like looking in a mirror.
They look exactly alike.
That's why everyone thinks it's him.
But everybody thinks that Martin Stoner is Master Tom. Amazing. Anyways, let's go ahead and read on. Okay, moving on, the next sentence says, later, George warned Martin that Michael Lay was back in the village and that he had sworn to give Tom flowers. No, he had sworn to kill Tom.
Wow.
What the heck did Tom do?
Nobody likes
His
Tom.
aunt won't look at him, won't talk to him. No one likes him. And this guy, Michael Lay, he's back in town, and he has sworn to kill Tom. Oh, man. Anyways, here, if you warn someone of something, you tell that person that there is some danger in the future, possibly, okay? Be careful, this bad thing might happen to you. So George went into town, heard about this, came back and said, hey, Master Tom, this guy Michael Lay's in town, and he might have sworn to kill you, so you might want to be careful with that whole situation.
Don't go to town.
Don't go to town ever again. For example, my friend warned me not to go out at such a late hour. Yeah, you've got an exam tomorrow. You go to bed. Get some sleep, okay? Don't go out. Anyways, he gave Martin some money from Tom's aunt and told him to get away for a few days. Escape. This guy, he's going to kill you.
So George not only warned him, but also gave him some money from the aunt, who's still angry with Tom, but doesn't want him to be killed. Here's some money. Take a holiday. Get out of town for a few days. Let Michael Lay stay here. Then hopefully he'll leave. Well, hopefully that will keep Martin out of danger. We'll find out after the break.
Martin 骑着 Tom 的马进城，那么在城里面，当地的人都很愤怒的瞪着他看，哇，他就很想知道 Tom 到底做了什么事情，惹怒了整个社区耶。可是他自己也不想要坦诚自己的真实的身份，不想跟人家讲说啊，我不是 Tom 啦，我是 Martin， 不要瞪我好不好？他也不敢这么做嘛，他不想要再回到乡间去过着四处流浪的生活。好，那我们先来看两个单字 ，community。Community 它表示社区或是群体，那么 confess 它表示坦诚或是承认。Jeff 老师说到这个片语 come clean 就可以表达是招供、全盘托出的意思。那这边还有3个重点，第一个 wonder 在这边当动词表示想知道，那么后面可以接 WH 疑问词引导的子句，例如I wonder how she got my phone number. 我想知道她怎么会有我的电话号码。好，第二个重点是 could have 加上 PP 是表达说对过去的推测，也就是表达说过去可能怎么样怎么样，当时原本可以或是可能怎么样怎么样。举例来说 ，You don't need to feel guilty. There was nothing you could have done. 你不需要感到愧疚，当时你也不能做什么嘛，没有什么是你能做的，你也没办法做到什么。好，那么第三个重点 ，a life of 加上动词 ing 表示做什么什么的生活，像是 Helen gave up her well-paying job to pursue a life of helping others. Helen 她放弃她那份待遇优渥的工作，去追求帮助别人的生活。好，故事接着写道，有一天 Martin 发现一本相簿里面有 Tom 的照片，他这才发现原来他跟 Tom 真的长得非常非常像诶。那么后来农宅里面那位老人 George 就警告说 Michael Lay 回到村里了，这个人物他曾经发誓说要杀了 Tom。那么接着 George 就拿了一些钱交给 Martin， 叫他说要先离开几天去避避风头，不要被 Michael Lay 给找到了。好，那这边有一个单字是 warn。warn 就是警告、提醒的意思，它是当动词。那我们接回课文中。
The Hounds of Fate.
Martin decided not to return. He had enough money for a fresh start, and as he left, he felt hopeful, almost happy. However, as he was riding along the road, Michael Lay stepped out from behind a tree and shot him dead. In the end, the Hounds of Fate had finally caught up with Martin.
Okay, so Martin decided not to return. He's not going to stay at the farm, or he's not going to come back to the farm, I should say.
Getting out of town.
He's had his fill.
Yeah.
Okay, plenty of food, plenty of sleep.
Got that horse, probably?
Probably has the horse there, and he's got some money now from his aunt. So he's not coming back, and he probably won't be killed by that guy, Michael Lay.
That's right. He decides he's stayed here long enough. Things are getting a little scary. He's got this money. It's time to go. He had enough money for a fresh start, to start a new life away from this place. And as he left, he felt hopeful, almost happy. So he'd come to town with nothing. As you say, he got some rest, he got some food, probably a horse, a bit of money. So things aren't terrible. He's got to go, but it could be worse. So he feels hopeful, almost happy. All right, if you're hopeful, this adjective means you're positive. You feel good about the future. You are full of hope. You think things are okay now, and they're probably going to be better tomorrow and into the future. For example, the movie contains a hopeful message. Things might be tough now, you might be going through troubles, but all things pass, all things change. Bad times will turn into good times eventually. Have hope, be hopeful. So, he's feeling things are good.
Hey, he's feeling things are good. Things are good.
Yep.
Actually, they're not. However, you see, as he was riding along the road thinking those hopeful thoughts, Michael Lay stepped out from behind a tree
Master Tom. Yeah.
Michael Lay stepped out from behind a tree, said that, menacingly brandished a firearm and shot him dead.
Whoa!
Just like that.
He was warned that Michael Lay was out for blood, and sure enough, Michael Lay ambushed him, surprised him from behind a tree with a weapon, and killed him.
It's just too bad that this villain here, Michael Lay, didn't tell him why he was killing him.
It's true.
Sir, I'm killing you because of so-and-so, Although Michael Lay here, I guess he's not really the villain. Anyways, in the end, the Hounds of Fate had finally caught up with Martin. Anyways, what do you think? Mike, what do you think Tom did that made the people in the community hate him so much?
I'm not sure, but Tom probably did something especially bad to Michael Lay or his family.
He probably stole their horses.
Stole their horses? I'm thinking maybe he promised to marry Michael Lay's sister and then ran away with her money, leaving her heartbroken or something like that. I don't know. But nothing good.
nothing good.
He wasn't
that's
everyone's
for sure.
favorite person.
No way.
That's for sure.
Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to say bye-bye. See you next time.
Take care.
Martin 现在手里有足够的钱可以重新开始，他就决定要永远离开那个地方。那他离开的时候就觉得，哇，人生充满了希望。可是，在他骑在路上的时候 ，Michael Lay 突然从一棵树后面走出来，把他射死了。好，单字 hopeful 就是形容充满希望的、满怀希望的。那老师们说到这个 Michael Lay 这号人物，他来势汹汹，先埋伏，然后再突然拿出武器来袭击 Martin。他也许不是坏人，搞不好只是来报仇的啦。好，那我们这边先来补充几个老师们用到的字，像 ambush。ambush 表示埋伏或是伏击，还有 brandish 可以表达舞弄或是挥舞，常用来表达舞弄、挥舞着武器之类的。好，那么 firearm。firearm 可以表达枪支或是枪炮，还有 menacingly，menacingly 它是当副词来表达胁迫的、威胁性的。好，还有 villain 是拼作 villain，villain 表示坏人、恶棍或是反派角色。好，另外我们在第一天课文有学到说 catch up with somebody 可以表达追上、赶上某人，也可以表达说为某人带来恶果、造成不良影响。那我们这边故事最后写到说，最后命运的猎犬终于让他尝到苦头。其实这里就是双关的用法哦，字面是说被这个命运的猎犬追赶上，然后同时也在表达说 Martin 他假冒身份这件事，最后为自己带来了被杀的恶果了。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Elvis Presley was known as the king of rock and roll. Young people today might not understand why he was so famous. In the 1950s, the term rock and roll didn't exist yet. Back then, the only forms of popular music were country music and the blues. Elvis Presley did something new by combining those two styles of music. The new style he played was called rock and roll. Although he didn't invent rock and roll, he did make it popular. Elvis Presley also had a strong influence on youth culture. Largely because of him, teenagers began to develop their own fashion. They also acted differently from people of their parents' age. As he became older, his music and fashion styles changed too. But that's okay. Rock and roll is for young people. It was time for him to step down and make room for the next generation.
Here is more information.
Calorie. There are 400 calories in this sandwich. Chart. This popular new song is at the top of the music charts. Gospel. Angel loves to listen to gospel music. Hit. This song is the #1 hit in the country right now. Impersonator. You can see many Elvis impersonators in Las Vegas. Twin. Jesse and Karen are twins. They are 8 years old. Perform. Our band performed well in the concert yesterday. Blonde. That blonde man is our new neighbor. Stillborn. Anna's first baby was stillborn, but her second baby was very healthy. Unfortunately. I want to go to the beach. Unfortunately, it is raining. Today's lesson was quite fascinating, right? I know I thought so. Well, we hope to see you here again next time.
See you next time.